Welcome back, folks, to Let's Replay Albion. When last we left off, we weren't in Kontos. In fact, we're in Belovino, because there's a store that I missed going to completely when I was first here. And that's this one. Hello? Huh? Something about you reminds me of Thunag. I just can't figure out what. There are magicians among you, correct? I sense their presence. Indeed there are. I'm starving. I hope you don't mind my ordering before you? Well, I do mind, because we're going to order first. Come on in. I hope you're really hungry. Right now I have a lot of fresh fruit from Shamalanar. Yes, we would like to buy some rations. We'd like to buy about 11,490. No, we're going to buy about 60 rations. Because 60 rations is a good number. It's 10 apiece. In fact, we need to buy 70 rations because we need to buy more for Thunag. And they are pretty reasonably priced at 0.1 gold per, which is nice. And what do you know about Shamalanar? I think everyone pretty much says that, so there's nothing else to mention there. And then we'll split up all of the food that we have here. We'll pass over 9 rations to Thunag over here. There we go. And I imagine you're going to have a lot too. 23, 24, we can pass 4 over here like that. And then we also have 24, and by passing 4 over here, that pretty much splits up the amount of rations that we all have quite nicely. And so now there is one more place to look at, and that is back at the inn, because there are a few people I forgot to talk to in the inn before we headed off to Kontos. And so we're going to go and talk to them. Specifically, people I miss talking to that have beards. Let's go and find people with beards, shall we? You have a beard, but I think I've spoken to you before. Ah, yes, I have spoken to you before. I haven't spoken to you, though, I think. Hello, sir. How are you? Please give me a little money. Do you have any spare change for me? Why, yes, I do. Tom gives the beggar 0.8 gold coins. Thank you very much. And I'm pretty sure you actually don't give me anything else for it, but that's not a bad thing. Charity is its own reward. I have to go eat now. Just let me... Ah, yes, spoken to you already. Don't mind me. Maybe it was the other... Ah, it was you I might not have spoken to. You must talk to Kariah from time to time. Because of her profession, she has lots of crazy stories to tell. You would generally find her in her home. And that is a hint there to go and talk to Kariah about things that will pretty much forward the plot. But that's pretty much all who we wanted to talk to, so when we come back, we'll be back where we were before. Let's go! And hopefully there's not going to be tons and tons of combat on the way. There's going to be tons and tons of combat on the way, isn't there? Probably. And now we are back here. It's like we never left, except the fact that we've sold lots of things that we got along our travels, and we've also rested. So let's go and see if we can find the leader of Kontos, shall we? We really don't need to use our light magic here, as it's actually quite illuminated, which is not surprising. Let's go into this room first, as there are many things that we want to find in here. Namely, I think this barrel has stuff in it. And it's quite nice stuff too. It's a lot of potions, and it's also some of these potions that restore some mana. Also, I completely forgot that I still had that shield and that helmet that I need to get rid of. And it would seem that Drew is carrying much too much, so we're just going to pass those potions on to Tom. That's kind of because we were selling a lot of things and got a lot of money for it. I think we got about 1,500 now. Over there, I think, is the way to the leader of Kontos, but we don't want to go that way. We want to go this way instead and explore around here, because there's a lot to explore. There is a lot. This place is very big, but most of it is full of emptiness, like this room here. Absolutely nothing to explore, but down here is the meat and bones of this dungeon. Through a series of doors and a very small puzzle. This puzzle here. The door is open. The door is closed. Opened and closed. And eventually you just need to have it so that the door is shut when you start going along it, so that you can get into here. Which is a small area with these enemies. Rinri. Rinri are actually quite nasty if you're not prepared for them. They have a lot of, well, there's a lot of them. They attack quite hard, and they can get through armor. But the solution to fighting Rinri is to focus on just one of them, because while they attack in a massive group, if you manage to kill one of them, they'll all run away. And when I say all of them, I mean absolutely all of them will flee. There we go, they're all starting to flee away, except the one that the other one was paired up to, or any of them that are sort of right next to us. Some of them won't move, but every other one will try and run for its life, and we're most certainly going to let them, because there's no reason for us to actually fight them. We get the experience either way, and they don't confer any loot whatsoever. So we're going to move on now. That might be one of the few situations where you even fight the Rinri. And here is a very simple puzzle that I remember the solution to. By pressing on these tiles, you can change the colour of the force field that's blocking them, and they need to be in a very specific order. This one needs to be pink, these two need to be blue, there we go, one that's blue, and another that's blue. Also, they won't release any massive quantities of enemies, which is refreshing for these panels. This one needs to be yellow. I think that one is already the right colour at green, and this one needs to be yellow. There we go. And now we get that sound that I've never actually remembered being at any other point in the game. I don't think you get much for this one, though. You just get about... I think each of these has 10 gold in it, which, to be fair, is really not much of a reward. 60 gold for a puzzle? Makes me wonder what these places here were used for. Maybe they're a kind of prison. A kind of prison that has exactly 10 gold pieces in each one. Ah well, it's all puzzles, and puzzles are good to solve. Let's move on, shall we? There's another door over here that we need to go and examine. And over here will be, I think there's a, yes, there's stairs down. And there's also this corridor. This corridor that I remember distinctly, because if you go to here, and you open this door, we're going to be getting a very, very nice item. There's also a warning here. Whoever sees the amulet must die. And they're not joking, but the amulet is worth getting. It's a power amulet, which will confer us ridiculous amounts of strength, which I think we're going to have to equip on someone. We could equip it on Thunag, or we could equip it on Melthus. Melthus actually might be a better idea. Do we have a necklace on Thunag right now? We do not. So we'll pass that on, and we'll give this over to Melthus, who will now have a ridiculous amount of carry capacity. There we go. Now he has 99 kilograms. There is one down... He also has a lot more health now, apparently. One downside... Now the floor is quite literally nearly lava, so we're going to have to find another way out. There is another way out, though. It is a rather sneaky way out, and it is this wall. It's incredible, but this wall is an illusion. We can simply go through it. Indeed you can. And this wall brings us right back to here, so you don't need to go across this floor here that's going to be covered in loads of death. And so we shall now head down. Down into this area. It's actually very important that we go into this area, because this area has a lot of things that we need to go and get. Also, there is a single solitary Rinri here. I'm not sure if this Rinri is intent on making a fight of it. That might be a terrible, terrible decision. Not if you hit Rainer, I imagine. But there we go, 4 experience points each for just hitting Rainer with a single attack. Don't remember this area that much at all, so we're going to have to be very, very careful. And explore with great care, because this area is indeed very, very dangerous. I think we want to pull this switch. What does that do? That opens an area to the south, and there are most certainly enemies nearby. We can see them on the monster eyes. But where are they? Okay, there are spinners here. I remember the spinners. Anything in here? There is a door, and we might as well have a look. Ah! I remember these enemies, though. These are the Kiz, and the Kiz are very, very dangerous. They hit extremely hard, and we want to make sure that we can absolutely obliterate them. But for now, we're going to use a fireball on this one, just to see if Drer can finish off a Kiz by himself. And we're going to send all these ranged attacks here onto this Rinri so that we can kill this Rinri. This could be tricky. They're not as tough as I remember them being. They are, however, very, very magic resistant. As you can see there, so we're not going to bother with magic against the Kiz at all. We are, however, going to focus on making sure that we don't lose anyone to this attack here of the Rinri. We might as well actually focus our fire a bit more. There we go, you can attack there, and you can attack there. The Rinri are already starting to run away, which is very handy. The Kiz here are not actually that difficult. I remember them being a lot tougher, but then again I think I was a lot worse equipped and a lot lower level. There we go. They do hurt if you let them hit you, but I don't think we're going to let them hit us because we're just too durable. There we go. I think the sheer number of attacks that we have also kind of helps. There we go, 1 dead and 2 dead, and 83 experience points. What is in here? Anything good? Ooh, a jewel chain and a colour map. What does this give? I've no idea. 1 protection, not bad, and 26.5 coins. Don't remember the colour map though. It might be something to solve a puzzle. Let's have a look at it, shall we? Let's read it. That is the solution to this. That's where you figure that out. And that's how I remember that the solution was that, because that was conferred there. Let's go and look in this room, shall we? Any enemies in here? Yes, there are. More Rinri. Only 3 of them, though. And that's really not many at all, and we're going to have to make sure that we kill one of them extremely quickly, because we don't want these Rinri to attack either Melthus or Thunag. So some handy swordplay and some ranged combat at point-blank range there. They do hurt. They really do hurt, but we'll let these 2 run away. Goodbye, Rinri! And we're going to most certainly get some healing done, because ouch. That hurt. Also, we might as well give some healing to Tom here. There we go. What do we have here? We have quite a few things that we can open, like these doors. And this area here that oh, there's another combat. Hello, how are you? We're just going to let you come to us. Also, here is a question. Why would this area that, where the leader of the, people of Kontos lives, why would there be a huge area full of lots and lots of enemies that will try and kill us? That is an interesting question, and I'm not sure we're going to get the answer to it. They do hurt, the Rinri. They really, really hurt. Also, we're not doing very well this time around, which is really, really bad. Okay, we're going to have to be a little careful here, because we don't want Drer to die here. We still have some of the lesser potions, and we're going to drink some of those. There we go. Drer is now back to nearly full health, because none of these enemies are Animal 3s or Krondir 2s, so we don't need to worry about being absolutely obliterated. Alright, that should probably do it for attacks against this. Is one of them already trying to run away? That is surprising if one of them is already trying to flee, because that one has backed up significantly. Yes, they're trying to run away already, which is not so bad. Now we can focus on fighting these enemies, and we might as well use the range attacks in this direction. This one, however, doesn't seem to want to flee. Either that or, or just didn't have the opportunity to, which is not so bad. Oh, these enemies hurt, especially when they can all get up close and start attacking. But I'm pretty sure that if we focus our fire here, we should be able to deal with them. At least they're not Rinri. Imagine if the Rinri did not flee. They sort of hit hard and yet can't take much damage, which at least is reassuring. Especially when Drer is involved. I really want Tom to get to level 20, because that is when he gets his second attack. And his second attack makes him really devastating. Really devastating. Ooh, the bolt thrower is broken. That's really, really bad. We might have to go and get that repaired. Because right now, Aha! Tom has reached level 20, and Syrah is now level 18. But we have one broken bolt thrower, and no way to repair it. So maybe for now we might have to switch his focus from ranged attack to melee attack. It's not the best thing we want to do, he's not very good at it, but he does have the protection stat to be able to do it. What's in here? Ah, enemy. Oh! Oh dear. Well, we're about to find out how good Reyna is going to be at attacking, anything, because, wow. That is a lot of Kiz. And they're all going to start moving up, and basically swarming us, which is really bad. Okay, we want to, move people over a bit. We want you to attack there. We actually want you to move up, because we're going to need to have you move up. There we go. Now Tom has 2 attacks around, which is a big difference. A very big difference. The damage we're taking, however, is not fantastic, and we need to be very, very careful. You attack there, and we might as well have you drink one of those potions, Malthus. After all, we do have a fair few of them, and I'd rather you didn't die. All of our spells really aren't going to do that much, so we're just going to have to focus our attacks. This is basically, hey, you got a party of mostly wizards? This enemy is designed to do some serious, serious harm to you. Also, we can finally start focusing our attacks here against the enemy with Thunag, who is quite safely staying in that area. There we go, we could have you attack this one. That's probably... Actually, you attack this one. That's probably a good idea. There we go. Another one's been dealt with, and we only have 3 more left. And they still hurt. They really hurt. But we can quite safely say that we're getting somewhere. We're definitely getting somewhere now. Actually, you can focus there. There we go. Another one dealt with, and another one dealt with. There are very, very few left, which is handy. And Reyna didn't do very much, but that's because the bolt thrower has broken. And so the thing that he's best at, currently he can't do, which is unfortunate. And I think there's another door in there. There is another door. There are lots of doors here. More doors than you can ever imagine. And I'm anticipating some kind of enemy somewhere. Hello? I come not to steal things. Actually, I come here to steal things. Any enemies at all? Some enemies somewhere. Ah, hello. I do not remember the Brogs. I think the Brogs attack with ranged attacks, which actually will really, really not be good to hear. So I think it's time to use some spells here to buy us a bit of time, like a Frost Avalanche here, and maybe a few fireballs. Just a couple, and by just a couple, I wonder if they're demons. That is a good question. Let's find out, shall we? Are they demons? There's only one way to know, and that is to do it. They're not that tough though, which is good. 3 attacks from Drer can kill one. Also, they completely resist the spell, which is kind of to be expected. Alright. Carefully does it. Nope, no effect, they are not demons. They are not demons at all. And I doubt the Kiz here would even be affected by it if they were demons. So we're going to use this opportunity to deal lots of damage to these enemies here, and sort of try our best not to die horribly, because I think they do indeed attack with ranged attacks. Then again, we didn't really get much of a chance to see one attacking. Also, that was a quite hefty hit there to Reyna. Reyna is starting to show the limits of his usefulness at this point in the game, because Reyna can't do very much. Also, we need to move Tom over here while we launch some ranged attacks. Do they attack at range? They do, I remember correctly. It looks like they're just sort of throwing rocks. which isn't the most terrifying thing to have ever happened. There we go, now we can advance forward. However, when they do hit, they're not that nice. Okay, here we go. We can now focus our attacks here. We'll have 2 here, and we'll have this ranged attack over here, which is not so bad. There we go, we only have 1 to deal with now, and we might as well advance the party and get up to this Brog here and defeat it. Excellent. None of these enemies have been too difficult so far, and Drer is now level 18, and Melthus is now level 15, and Thunag is now level 10, and we have a lot of rocks. Do we really want rocks? They are very, very heavy. In fact, I'm going to say no. I think we're quite good without rocks. Can you learn this spell now? No, you can't. And that's not bad. What else do we want to do? We want to go around this corner and see what... Ooh. Here is a document part. We actually don't want to grab this just yet. This is something that triggers the advancement of the plot somewhat, and so we want to wait on taking that. We most certainly want to wait. Also, there are some enemies nearby, apparently. I can't see where they are. Maybe they're in this room over in this direction. I bet they're in this room. Let's have a look. Ah! 1 single Kiz. I have no idea why they consider this a threat, but we'll go deal with it anyway. There we go. It has been dealt with. Anything else in here? It would seem not. In fact, I wonder if that enemy was put there just to keep you on your toes, as like, ah, there are enemies here. There are dangers that we must watch out for. And then you realise that you don't have to watch out for them whatsoever. Also, what is in here? It would seem not a lot. And there's also this here that, I'm not sure we want to walk through that. There's a door, though, that we can open. Let's go into there, shall we? Oh! Ah, here are a lot of enemies. But fortunately, we can deal with these enemies, at least I hope. I think another Frost Avalanche will probably help in us taking care of all these. We could actually use some of Thunag's other spells. Like a Lightning Bolt, for instance. Why not, eh? And we'll move Reyna up here to go and deal with some of these. There we go, 1 dealt with. And this won't hit the Kiz, of course, but the Brogs can they're not actually able to deflect it at all, which is quite good. That's very good. There we go. Nearly got them. Excellent. And here are some fireballs. And not just that, but also lightning too. I like that animation. That animation is really good. Let's deal with this enemy, and then start dealing with the other enemies that are nearby, like this one. We could sort of focus our attacks here. You can hit that one, and you can hit this one, and we could pretty much take out that one without any trouble. There we go. Excellent. Fireballs for everyone! And lightning. That is a good combination. Although Syrah no longer has any capability to launch any attacks that use magic without us consuming her health. There we go. Did I get you to use a... No, I want you to use a lightning strike. There we go. That'll deal with that one quite nicely. I like that they are now adding more ranged enemies. It's quite good that they are, even if they're not the most effective ranged enemies. They could have actually been earlier in the game, but then again, maybe earlier in the game they would have been far more devastating. Who knows? But a little bit of lightning strike training here for Thunag is always a good thing. If that is that enemy survives, ooh, that will have missed, won't it? Yep, that missed. Which is unfortunate, but fortunately Syrah reacts fast enough that we can just mop up these enemies, and we don't want a pile of rocks. Get the feeling I'd rather not have those. And so, when we come back, folks, we'll continue exploring this area, which still has loads and loads of enemies in it. And we'll get that document part at some time later. Not just yet, but soon. Also, there's this area over here. There's something very dangerous there that we need to watch out for. And there's also this area here that we also need to go and explore at some point. So I'll catch you next time, folks. and I'll see you then. Later.